it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets, and welcome to the first Sketch Sunday of 2016. So here is the sketch that we're going to be using. It's the My Favorite Things sketch challenge for this week. And as always, I will have the link to this sketch listed below in the more information section. So we're going to get started. We're going to use a mix of products from My Favorite Things and Recollections and possibly some Hero Arts. I'm not sure. I have a bunch of stuff on my desk and I'm just going to see how this goes. So normally the card would be long ways, but we're going to do it, we're going to make the card be wide. So this is a pre-cut card base. It's one of the ones that you can get in the packages from Michael's. And so it's a Recollections card set. It is 4 by 5.5. So I'm just going to take my bone folder and score on and make the crease nice and even so that it's kind of flat to work with. So I'm going to put this to the side, and we're actually going to do the card base, and then we're going to probably decorate an envelope too. I have some stuff that I'm looking at using for that. So this is the background paper that I chose to use. This is from a Recollections set, one of the 25 pieces of paper, 25 sheets of paper. This is what the paper pack looks like. It's one that I believe I got left over from Valentine's Day last year. So the theme of a lot of this for this year is going to be using supplies that I haven't used at all. So I just opened this pack today for this project. A lot of the stamps you're going to see, I either haven't used the stamp set at all or I haven't used the actual stamp that we're going to use. So here's the coordinating envelope, so we're going to do something with that too. So I want to do the first thing. So the first thing had stripes on it. So this in theory was what I wanted to do. So these are die cuts. So I cut this piece out using some steel dies. So these are die cuts from, let me see, I think I have all the sections over here, all the, it was a chalkboard die set. I don't know where my packaging has gotten to, so if I can find it, I'll show it to you. If not, I'll link it below in the supplies, or list it below in the supplies. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of make it go like this so you could see the hearts coming through it. You can look at this. However, when I ran it through my Cuttlebug, these lines, if you can see, they're not totally straight. So we're going to do a second attempt at this. So I have several dies, and I'm going to show you what I did. So initially what I did was I put these over top of the hearts. Like each one was over a row of hearts, and that's how I spaced them out. However, I realized that the hearts are all connected, so no matter where I cut out, it's going to cut out and you're going to be able to see hearts. So what I did was I just tried to line them up as best as possible. Now this is the Genius Magnetic platform. So these will stick down to it. You want to have the cutting side, the side with the blade, facing up when you do this. So this is the cardstock that we're going to use for the front. So the card base is 4 by 5.5. So this is 1/8 of an inch shorter than the card base. So we're going to place that over top. Then I have this little die, and this is going to go on the envelope when we decorate it. And it is, here is the chalkboard one. So this is called Die-Namics Chalkboard Frame Builder. So this is the largest one, and I used the next three smallest ones, and then here are the 3 smallest. So kind of the ones in the middle. Those are the ones that I used for this. And then I used this, I'm going to use this postage stamp. And we are also going to use something else from here, if I can, just had it a second ago. And here is a larger postage stamp. This is going to go on the inside. The greeting is going to go on that. And these are all from this Die-Namics set, and it is My Favorite Things, First Class Friend. And I got this a while ago. This was on sale, and I've never used it. So I thought that I would do it now. So we're just going to put this piece of paper over top of this, and then this one over here. So now all 3 pieces of paper are on top of this. Then we're going to take the A mat or cutting plate and place it over top of here. So the middle piece is the only one that I really want to make sure doesn't shift. Actually, on this, what I want to do is line it up actually take this off of here. So before I put it on the board, what I want to do is kind of line it up on here and try to space them evenly and try to keep them as straight as possible. And I'm going to press down in the middle just so that it hopefully will stay to where I want it on the paper. So now I'm going to place this back on there just so that the paper doesn't shift. And then I'm going to put the cutting plate back on here and we're going to run it through the Cut-A-Bug. Now you're not going to be able to see much of this because of the angle of the camera for this, but you're just going to run it through the Cut-A-Bug. Sorry for the shaking. And when it gets to be hard for it to go through, that means that's where the die is. So it does take some muscles to do this. And one more that's going to go through that last postage stamp, and then it becomes easier to run through it. If you hear creaks and things like that, it's not breaking, don't worry, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to make those kind of noises. So we have the little postage stamp here that will go on the front. So we have, okay, so we have this, and it actually cuts out in 2 pieces, which I did not realize, so we'll see about that. We're going to see if we can use that. And then I have these pieces here. So the last one that I did, the washi tape kind of took some of the cardstock up. So I'm going to be extremely careful pulling the washi tape off. Okay. One more little piece of washi tape. I actually think that looks pretty good. It looks better than the first piece. So I'm going to save these because we can use them for something else. We can actually do die inlays, which I can use for another project. So I'll put those over to the side. I will probably put them in with the packaging for the die. So if I decide to do the inlay technique, we can do that. Okay, so I'm going to put these dies off to the side. I'm going to put the cut pieces, I've put them with their packages. I'm going to put these cut pieces off to the side because we don't need them right now. Okay, and then these are extra. So this is the piece that we cut out. Okay, so now we're going to do the card base. So I kind of just want to try to figure out how, I just want to do it so that the hearts kind of show through. It's not exactly how I wanted it to be. And it would have been nice if they were able to line up, but I think that if we do it like this, it lines up pretty nicely and you can see most of the hearts. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut it to just a teeny tiny bit smaller than this because it doesn't go all the way to the edges. So I'm going to take my cutting board out again. So the last one was 4, and it's an 1/8 shorter than the 4 inches. So I'm just going to do it to the line that's to the right of the 1/8 of an inch smaller than 4 inches. And I stink at math, so I'm sorry, I don't know what that exact number is. But I will show you on the cutting mat. So here's the 5.5. Let's see. You can see here's 5.5. That was the line that I used, the line halfway in between. I used that line for the pink piece, and then that little line next to it is the one that I used, which you probably can't even see. I'm probably not doing a very good job of that. But it's just one line to the right of the 1/8 mark that I used. So now since it's a little bit smaller, we're going to be able to line it up. And what I want to do now is I'm going to take my ATG and I want to glue this down. So, sorry, I'm off camera. Keep forgetting that this side is where I need to stay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a line down in between the cutouts as well. So that way a little bit off on the side. Doesn't matter, you can take scissors and just trim off the edges of it. You're not really even going to be able to see that. Okay, so there's the front. I don't love it. It's probably not my favorite thing I've ever done, but you know, I was just trying something new, trying to see if I could come up with a different design. I know that there are other things. There's little hearts that are on the front of this, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I might actually cut out some more hearts. I do have an additional heart in here. I think I might cut out some little red and maybe white hearts and put them on the front. But I'm going to put the card base onto the front of this. Just gonna kind of, there's just it's just going to be a very, very small border around all 4 sides, which is kind of nice because it will mimic the background here. So there you go. You can see that. So that die, actually the one that I was using, the heart die, is from Fawn, and this is what it looks like. I don't have a die from my favorite things for this, so we may actually do that. I may go back and put some of the hearts on there. I'm not sure yet. But what I want to do is I want to decorate the inside, and then I want to show you how to decorate the outside. So initially, what I didn't realize at the middle of this cutout, because I've never done this before, but that actually might work out. So I was going to put this postage, the large postage, in here. And I wanted to use this sentiment that is from I think it's called Geek is Chic. I believe that's what these, yes. Geek is Chic. And it's all eyeglasses, and there's some cute glasses dies that are sold separately. And I believe they're also called Geek is Chic. So I wanted to use this sentiment that says, "My heart stops when you look at me." But to do that, it's too wide to fit across. So I was trying to figure out how to do some selective stamping. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a block, and I'm going to line it up. So it's going to say, "My heart," and then stops when you, and then look at me. So there's going to be 4 different lines on here. So what we're going to need to do is take some washi tape so I can selectively ink this up. So I'm just washi taping over the sentiments, this part of the sentiment that does not need to be inked up. So now this would be a perfect thing to use the Misty for, but I'm trying to get this done pretty quickly, and I don't want, not that the Misty would take all that long, but I kind of want to just kind of want to do this fairly quickly. Okay, so there's a little bit of red on the S for stops. Just wipe that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to center it up as best as I can, and I know that, I'm sorry you can't see this, it'll be upside down for you. So I did my heart. So there you go, there's the my heart. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, again, mask off everything that is not included and that doesn't need to be stamped. And actually, I probably should have cleaned off my heart part first before I went ahead and put that over, because if any of this ink is left on the stamp, it is actually going to transfer over when I stamp again. So I'm just going to take a scrap piece of paper, cardstock, and just make sure that it's very faint. I'm just trying to take off as much as I can. And again, this may not be perfect, but okay. I believe most of that is coming from the washi tape. So now I want to go back over and put the washi tape on my heart. Hopefully enough of that ink has gotten off that it won't rub onto that. And the E in me got a little inked up. So this is where it can take a little bit of time. And I think I didn't clean that me off good enough. Well, my heart stops. Okay. Again, let's clean off the stamp. Probably should have a stamp cleaner or something, but I'm just using some water. Okay, that looks like it worked really well. And then just going to ink this and cover this because the bottom part of the sentiment isn't getting stamped. Okay, pull this off, this off. Trying to go as fast as I can. Sorry, guys. And then the last part is look at me. So one more time to ink this up. And when U is in a different font than the other ones, so it kind of looks nice. I have ink all over my hands. This is a very inky technique. Okay. Let's just make sure that that is again cleaned off. Okay, there you go. My heart stops when you look at me. I thought that was really cute, and it kind of went with the sentiment on the front. So clean that off. Okay, so there it is. We'll throw away this washi tape that has the ink all over it so that it doesn't get on the card. So now we could cut this ring out in a different color, but I just think for the time being, I think that looks cute having it the pink on pink. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually use my Zig 2A glue pen, and I'm just going to put some of the glue onto the back of this, center it up in my card frame, and then I'm going to take this put glue on the back of it and put it into the piece. It fits in just like a puzzle piece because that's the way that it was done. So now I'm going to go, I have a bin over right off camera that actually has just scrap pieces of paper in it. So I'm just going to pull up some red scrap paper, and quickly I'm going to use the heart die from Lawn Fawn, and I'm going to quickly run that through my Cuttlebug so that we can have some hearts for the front and the interior of the card. So again, I'm just going to place, which you can't see because I'm doing this off camera, but just placing the die down really quickly, blade side up in the Cuttlebug, running it through the Genius platform, and I believe this should give me 6 hearts, and then I already have 1 inside. So what you can do if you have extra cardstock and you're not really going to use it, it's just little pieces, it's great to do things like these little dies. This is what I do. I just cut them out from all different kinds of colors, and then I have these really cute, these had buttons in them, but little cute containers, and then you just keep the little pieces in there, so when you need them, they're already done. So I only had 1. I had done several of them for a wedding card for my cousin a couple weekends ago. If you saw that, I think I did a video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did a video on that one. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to use my quick stick. If you guys don't know what the quick stick is, this is what it is. This end has a poker piece to it. It actually has 2 sides. It has like it's kind of just trying to think of what it's kind of like a scraper, like an ice scraper side. I don't know if you guys can see that. The light down here is so terrible. And then there's like a poker side so that when you're using intricate dies, you can use this to poke pieces out of it. And then the other end is a gummy end. If you guys are old enough to remember the sticky stuff that you used to stick posters on your wall with, it's a lot like that, a gummy end, and that will help you pick up pieces. So that is what I'm going to do. What I do is when they're right side up, pick them up with a quick stick, and then just put a little thing of glue on the back of them, and I'm just going to attach that to the front of the card. I probably should do some white hearts too, considering that the hearts are pink, white, and red, and the card base is pink, so I don't want to do pink hearts, but I probably should do some white. I may go back in later on and do that. Let's see. Trying to find little places that you could put the hearts on and just kind of decorate the front of the card like that. And then I think on the inside, what I'm going to do is do the same thing and put maybe a heart or 2. Actually, I think I'm just going to do the 1. Yep, just the 1 for right now. So then I'm going to show you. So that was the exterior of the card. So that's the card for this week. I think it was very simple. It was a very easy card to do. So I'm going to put the pieces back into the container, the extra ones, extra hearts. So when I do another project with hearts, I can do that. And I might actually use them for the front, the envelope. So I'm going to decorate the envelope as well. So here is the little postage stamp. So since I'm not putting this in the mail, I thought that it would be cute to just kind of do a little something on the front of it. Now, this is how much I mail things. I actually had to look up how much postage was because I have the forever stamps and I don't really pay attention to how much stamps are. So they are 49 cents. So what I thought would be really cute was put a little heart at the top of this, which I already have cut out, a little red heart, and then 49 at the bottom of it. So I have these stamps from Recollections, which again, I've never ever used. These are, let me see if they have a name. It doesn't look like they have a name, but they are kind of like calendar stamps, and then they have an icon for a lot of the holidays and things like that, and you can make calendars and things like that with these stamps. So I took the 4 and the 9 from it because these are the smallest numbers that I think I have. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take like a bright pink. I think I want some bright pink on here. And I'm going to ink up the stamps one at a time because together they won't fit on there because they didn't cut close to the edge of the stamp. So if I inked up the 4 and the 9 and tried to stamp them at once, they wouldn't fit on the stamp. So 4 Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the 9. And again, since this is going to be a hand-delivered card, if I decide to do this, it doesn't matter. I can decorate the outside where a stamp would go. Let's see. So I'm just going to take a Jelly Roll pen and just put that little C mark after it with the line through, so it looks like it says 49 cents. And I'll show you in a second a little bit closer up of that. And then going to do the same thing with the quick stick. And this. I've really lately been into decorating my envelopes to match the card inside. I just think it gives it a nice finishing touch, especially if you're going to hand deliver it. It doesn't really matter. You can decorate it any way you'd like. So now I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the back of this, and we're going to stick it on just like a stamp. So there you go. Now it's not totally decorated, it's just a little bit, it just gives it a little bit of character. So there's the envelope. That just gives you an idea of something you can do. You can also stamp hearts all over this, cut out big hearts, do different kinds of things just to decorate it. There's a heart on here. I could have used that and inked that up in different colors and stamped it around. Maybe once I address it, I will do that if I decide who it's going to. So this is it. Pretty simple, basic card. And then the sentiment inside was probably the most difficult part to do because you had to ink up this, do selective inking with the stamp. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that it was such a long video. A lot of times when I do the process videos, it does take a lot longer. So half an hour. Thank you guys that stuck to the end of this. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below in the comments section, and I will get back to you. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe, and I will see you guys again soon with another video. Bye!